This is a quick tutorial on how to schedule a HESI exam. So you'll log into Evolve, you will find your HESI tab, and then you will go to scheduling, and you'll need to know the name of your exam. For my class, we're doing dosage calculations. So we'll click that, and then you hit schedule exam group. Here is a way to title your exam, so you just free text it. I usually do the name of the exam and then the cohort. Then this drop-down menu is how Elsevier calls out our cohort. So mine is the January 25. And then different exam versions. Sometimes there's only one, sometimes there's up to 4. This should always be turned on. I don't even think you can turn it off. This is when do you want the students to be able to access the exam. It doesn't mean that they can get into it and start it, just that they can see it and go into the waiting room. And you must hit this add time slot and see it populate up here. You'll see it says 0. That just means that 0 students have registered for this exam, which makes sense. They haven't seen, I haven't uploaded it yet. It's going to give you an automatic amount of time that it will run for. We usually keep this the same unless you have to make an accommodations exam with extra time. We usually have the display timer turned on. I usually turn on the force complete students when the time expires, or else you manually have to go in and shut down their exam. The calculator should be on. We do want them to see their rationales. We do want to show them their HESI score. It's up to you if you want to show them the conversion score. I usually unclick this just because our conversion scores are different and they get confused sometimes when they see that score. You can leave this the same. I usually put the second option though. I like my students to have the exam results immediately when they leave because some students like to see their statistics. We make sure remediation is on, leave that on. This is just what time do you want the student to have their remediation. Either the default is fine, or sometimes I choose this, again, if I have students who are going to do the remediation immediately after they're done with their HESI. We always want to enable case studies. We usually keep this on at 80%. And most instructors don't change this due date. They usually have a due date in Schoology, but I often like to have it match my Schoology date of when remediation is due. Since this is for a PVR class, we don't have remediation due on these, so I'll leave it the same. Confirm and schedule. If you go back to the home, you should be able to see your exam. So here's the one I just scheduled today. If I were to click here on dosage calculations, it would bring me right back to the settings screen in which you could make any settings if you wanted to change something. Whenever you exit, it's just going to ask if you're going to close without saving. If you didn't make any changes, not a problem. And here is the proctored launch, where you would have to, where you would see your students come in to actually do the HESIs.